So here's some fun facts. This square represents one of the 260 megapixels that make up this huge panorama. That's a total resolution of 41,658 by 6,217. And this was achieved by stitching together 23 raw photos, all of which were taken in under 2 seconds. And this was all done using a relatively inexpensive mirrorless camera. The one I'm using is the Sony a6300. So how did I take this massive panorama in such a short amount of time? Well, if you haven't guessed already by the title and by the sound of this thing, it's using burst mode photography. So by rotating my camera into the portrait mode and cranking up the shutter speed and then just holding the shutter down and doing a little spin on the hips, I can take these massive panoramas in a really short amount of time. Now, I would totally recommend trying this on your camera because it's fun. There's nothing more fun than just getting your camera, just holding the shutter down, just going. And not only that, is super quick. So if you have things moving in your frame, you're not going to get any weird artifact because you're moving it so quick. Nothing can appear twice in the frame, which is super good, or even appear elongated, which is awesome. So doing it this way minimizes artifacting, which is super cool. Now the only downside to this is that you need pretty decent light because obviously you're moving your camera quite fast. There is going to be motion blur unless you have a pretty high shutter speed. Now I found a shutter speed of 3000 or above is pretty good with the speed that I sort of pan across, but your mileage may vary, so with your camera, with the lens you're using, so I recommend just trying it, messing around, but yeah, you need a pretty high shutter speed. But that being said, even on a fairly overcast Manchester day, you can still take these photos, so yeah, give it a go. So now you've got all your burst photos, you've obviously got to stitch them together. So if you get your photos and stick them into Lightroom, you can merge them all together. So yeah, once you've copied all your photos onto your computer, like I said, open up Lightroom and we're gonna stitch them together. And this is pretty simple to do in Lightroom and it does it really well and it's quite impressive and it makes life really easy. So all you gotta do is import your photos. So let me just grab all of those and dump them into Lightroom there. There we go. So that's all the raw photos. And I'm using this photo that I took in Switzerland again, because it's just way prettier than Manchester. What can I say? So once you've got all your photos into Lightroom, what you want to do is just click on the first one of the burst and hold down Shift and click on the last one of the burst and go up here to Photo and Photo Merge and click on Panorama. And Lightroom will then go ahead and build a preview for you and stitch all those together. You probably have your settings like this maybe, I don't know. But basically you want to select Create Stack. What that'll do is put all your photos into one nice stack so that if you've got loads of panoramas, it's not going to get really messy with thousands of photos everywhere. I like clicking on auto settings because it will automatically sort of balance it and give you a good start with the edit. And then crop here, you can see I didn't keep it perfectly straight when I took this panorama. So what it's going to do is it's going to automatically crop out these areas where you didn't quite keep it straight like that. So definitely check that one. And the rest of the settings I would just leave the same. And once you've done that, just hit merge. Now, this is going to take a while because if, like me, you've taken raw photos, your computer's got a lot of pixels it needs to stitch together. So, grab yourself a cup of tea, chill, put on some tunes, go out and take more panoramas. It looks like it's done. Head on over to develop, and as you can see, all your photos, because we selected create a stack, all your photos have been merged into this one lovely photo. You can expand the stack there, let's have a look at it. Click on that, and there you go, it's stitched it together. Once you've got it in there, that's your panorama. And because we selected auto settings, it's also fiddled around with those a bit. So if you want, you can add a few things. I'm just gonna mess around with it a bit. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. You can zoom around your photo, you can look around, it's quite fun to do actually. So yeah, once you've done that, file, export, Now, exporting, you might want to, where is it? You might want to resize your image so it's a bit smaller. I found, actually, for some reason my phone, of all things, can view the full-size image, but programs like Premiere Pro, After Effects, DaVinci Resolve, all of these editing programs can't deal with the image this huge. So I had to scale it down to a mere 30,000 pixels horizontally, but whatever. So yeah, if your computer's struggling to view it, or anything's struggling to view it, just make it a bit smaller. But other than that, it's a matter of just exporting it. And again, this might take a while. So while it's taking a while, I guess I'll do an outro. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, stick them in the comments. Let me know how this goes for you, like what lens are you using, does it work well? It's a bit of trial and error to get the technique down, but yeah, that is it. I guess I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.